So Bangkok Patana School is Thailand's first and largest British international school for students from 2 to 18 years. Their not-for-profit school has remained at the forefront of education in Thailand for over 60 years and is today one of the most respected educational establishments in Southeast Asia. They provide learning from the foundation stage right through to senior studies for over 2,200 students from around 65 countries. The school follows the English national curriculum up to year 11 and the International Baccalaureate in years 12 and 13. Bangkok Patana School is committed to ensuring that you, as a parent, have the confidence that your children are receiving the best intellectual, physical, and social preparation for their futures. And I'm really excited to have here with me Miss Rachel Jones. Oh, she's not muted. There you are. We're not muted anymore. Fantastic. How are you, Rachel?
Good morning, Stephen. I'm great, thank you. It's lovely to be with you and the BKK Kids community this morning.
It's lovely to be with you too. You know, that's fantastic. I know that you're just getting started your day. I'd really appreciate you taking the time out to, what is, I'm sure, an extremely busy schedule. Let me kick you off with a question. It's like, what makes you want to come to school, and what makes Bangkok Patana special? Like, as you're coming to school, you're just starting your day right now. What are you thinking about? It's like, wow, this is the reason why this is awesome.
I genuinely feel fortunate and excited to come to Bangkok Patana School each morning, and that's predominantly because of the community that we have here. It's a diverse, vibrant, and committed community. When you walk around the campus, for anybody who has visited, there's a real energy and a buzz about the place, and that's from the students who are deeply engaged in their learning, to the teachers who are absolutely committed to their craft. But that also extends in a broader sense. That's the transport staff who have carefully and safely brought our students to school each morning, the canteen staff who are preparing the snacks and the lunches, the gardeners who are proudly tending our beautiful grounds here as well. So I think there's a real sense of belonging for everybody in the community.
I love it. That's fantastic. Is there any particular part of the campus that you particularly like? I mean, that you're like, this is my part. You maybe go there for lunch, or you hang out there? Or...
For me, it's the green space, which is all through the campus. So the facilities themselves are sort of world class, but it's that being still in touch with nature. We're in Bangkok, a very busy city, but you can hear the birds, you can see the butterflies, you can see the turtles crawling along. And it's just a really special connection, I think, to what's special in Bangkok.
I love that. On the note of special, what specialty area would you say that Bangkok Patana excels in? Is it science? Is it arts? Is it sports? Or is there an area where you're like, we're the best at this?
I think what's special about Patana is that we don't excel in any one area. We're not focused purely on the sports, the music, the academics. We really strive to provide students with outstanding opportunities across all of those different areas. We encourage students to really explore, to be adventurous, to try lots of different things, and really find out where their passions and their strengths lie. And then we can nurture them along those pathways. But we really encourage students to remain broad. If you've seen our adverts, the tagline is a world of opportunity. And that really is true, that there's such a breadth of opportunity for students here.
Hope this isn't a curveball for you this early in the morning, but so when, that can be both inspiring, but also overwhelming. Right. And so for instance, I have a son who's 16 and a half, and, he's in the IB right now. And that's one of the questions he often comes to me with is, Dad, I think I want to do this, but then there's just these thousands of other choices and opportunities available. Talk to me about how you talk to your student body about either deciding a path or navigating that kind of largeness.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Stephen. I think it will depend on the stage that the student is at in their learning journey. So obviously that conversation with a student in our foundation stage or key stage 1 is going to look very different to a student who's having to make their choices for IB. I think the important thing is that we give them the information that they need in plenty of time. And we really give them different sources of information as well. So when we're talking about those very important subject choices that the students will make later on, we have a variety of formats to present that information to them in. So we will have open mornings for parents to come in and learn about the different subject areas. We will have the students actually talk to their peers or the students in the year above and talk to them about what the experience was like, because that can be really powerful for students as well, not to just hear from teachers and parents, but actually to hear from those slightly older students who can give that really personal advice to them as well.
Mm. Do you and are you able to draw from alumni across Bangkok, or would you, like, how far does the alumni universe reach?
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. We do bring our alumni into the school as well to talk to our students, which again is so powerful because they've only recently sort of taken that step to go off to university or recently graduated. So they have some really great messages for our students. We have alumni around the world, and we have a really strong alumni network. Something we hear from a lot of our alum when they leave, if they are going to university in a new country or they get a job offer somewhere new, they can always reach out to someone in the Patana community. They may not have a connection with them already, but just the fact that they're both alumni of Patana, and they will found that they're invariably supportive and encouraging, and just having that familiar contact, I suppose, and shared interest.
Fantastic. Speaking of community, what kind of pastoral care does Bangkok Patana offer, and how does that play out across the campus?
So we pride ourselves on our pastoral care. In terms of our school values, well-being intentionally comes first before the learning and the global citizenship, because we know that to succeed both academically and personally, our students need to feel safe and supported and nurtured. In the primary school, we have the class teacher model, that will be their first point of contact. There's a lot of further support as well. So we do have a social and emotional counselling team in primary school. If there were any additional support needs that maybe fell outside of the academic realm. In terms of learning, we have a support for learning teacher specialist in each year group who can work not just with the children, but also with the teachers to ensure that they're effectively meeting the needs of all the children in their classes. We have a really strong PSHE, Personal, Social and Health Education program. That's a mouthful, which runs through as well. And that's really looking at all of those personal development areas, building resilience, how do we deal with friendship issues, with different emotions, and really building that capacity in our students. It's not just about the academic learning. We need to make sure that well-being is taken care of as well. As students move into secondary and they have specialist teachers for their different subject areas, we recognise that it's still very important for them to have that consistent sort of point of contact and person who's really looking after them from a pastoral point of view. So students will join a tutor group of 22 children, and they will stay with that tutor as they move up through the secondary school. And their head of year will also move up with them. So you have that consistent point of contact, both for students and for parents, that you can really build that strong relationship with. Secondary, of course, also have the counsellors, the additional support team. And what's very important in secondary is our careers and universities counsellors. So that those difficult questions you talked about earlier, that we can start guiding our students in good time, so that they don't hopefully feel overwhelmed by those choices, because they're very methodically taken through that process of narrowing down and focusing on the areas they're particularly interested in.
Tell me, go a little deeper for me around a balance between academics and either extracurriculars or academics and specialization in, like, say, a sport or a music or something like that. Like, how does that balance work? And either through that counseling group or through that cohort or those kinds of things.
Yeah. So we give a lot of value to those extracurricular activities that take place after school. So we have between 400 and 500 activities running every week. So there's a huge array of things for our students to choose from.
Amazing.
And that ranges from our academies, where we have specialist coaches, and we have academies for tennis, swimming, dance, football, and gymnastics. But in addition to that, we also have drama groups, music groups, rock climbing, Italian cooking, coding. So the idea is every child can find something that they really get excited about and get passionate about, to give them that balance. And we group those extracurricular activities under our 3 sort of value umbrellas of learning, well-being, and global citizenship. So again, encouraging families to try and have a balance there. Now, if you have a child who's a passionate footballer, maybe they want to do football every day after school, but we'd say maybe, once a week, try something from one of the other groups so that they're still getting those opportunities. But obviously within curriculum time as well, students are getting exposed to lots of different learning opportunities.
Fantastic. I want to remind everybody who's listening, right now is your opportunity. We have Rachel here live with us. And so if you'd like to ask a question, if you're there online, you can throw it into the comments on either Facebook or YouTube, and I will read it to her and we can get that. Until such time, I know for us, when we came to Bangkok, one of the things that is always a buzz around the parents is the facilities, right? And, there's been a number of new entrants in Bangkok recently with, nice, bright, shiny new facilities, whereas Patana has been around for a long time. Talk to me about that conversation and the importance of facilities, or how your continued investment in Patana's facilities, and then also what your philosophy is there.
Yeah. So I think the first point to make is that the facilities are only ever as good as the teachers or the staff who are using them to deliver programs to the students. So you can have amazing spaces, but they need to be utilized to really, enhance the student learning opportunities. So I think there's a caution to sort of be exercised there. We are very, very proud of our facilities. As a not-for-profit school, we're fortunate that everything can get reinvested into the school. So we're constantly looking to either make sort of improvements on a smaller evolutionary scale or something revolutionary, to look at bringing new things in. Where we develop the facilities, the focus is very much on student learning opportunities. So in August, we opened our new tennis courts. So we built 8 covered ITF level 1 certified tennis courts, which will mean a lot to tennis players in the group. And the special thing about that is they're not just available to those students in our tennis academy, but they're used in curriculum time for PE lessons for students to go and play tennis there as well. So even if tennis might not yet be something you've explored, you're having that opportunity to play on professional level courts. So it's really keeping that in mind with everything that we develop. How can we ensure that most students get the opportunity to benefit from this? We do have a long-term infrastructure plan over the next 8 to 10 years. So looking to expand our offering at our sports complex, looking at our aquatic center, and really continue to keep building and developing, which is what Patana means. Keep developing the school, both in terms of professional development, so that our staff and our teachers stay at the forefront of best practice, but also making sure the facilities and the learning environment supports that.
How do both parents and I'm assuming students as well contribute to that conversation of what do we do next in terms of buildings, in terms of facilities, but also in terms of curriculum, in terms of activities, et cetera? What are the opportunities that they have to be involved?
So we really value student voice in the school, whether that's from our student councils, so it might be our class representatives down in the primary school, or the opportunities they have to speak to our primary leadership team. They will pop into their year groups at set times during the year and have sort of an open forum, sort of town hall, where students can come and share, what do they love about their learning? What would make it even better for them? what other suggestions do they have? And that might be, ice cream at lunchtime, or sometimes it might be something quite profound in terms of the learning. So really encouraging that student voice. In secondary, that just continues as well. So we have a lot of community engagement teams, and a lot of the developments that the school has made have been informed by student feedback. So we had a big project to install solar panels throughout the school, and that came from our student environmental committee. So we want to show students they have an important voice, part of that building global citizens, and they have the opportunity to shape their world, and that has to start with their ability to shape the school to a certain degree as well.
Fantastic. Is there anything, I want to offer you the opportunity here. Is there anything that you'd like to close with? I mean, I got to ask all the questions. Is there anything that you'd like to communicate to our community of parents and, prospective learners who might want to come there that, that you think is really important about Patana?
I would recommend anybody that's interested in the school to come and visit us. I think it's a really, really special campus and a wonderful community. And it's very difficult to get that sense through a website or through a prospectus. So I think, and that would apply to all of the schools. If you're looking at enrolling in a school, do take the time to go and visit in person if you can, because you really get that sense of whether it's a good fit for your child and your family as well.
Fantastic. Rachel, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day. And I wish you all the best for your day. But now we're going to give them that virtual presentation, that virtual tour of your school. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks for the opportunity, Stephen. Bye-bye.
Let's make sure we do that correctly. Oh. Sorry, folks. I forgot to take down my little overlay here so that when we add this to the stage, we will back it up. And here we go without further ado.